Sorry about that.
How's the little meeting?
A real job and shit. We away?
Real jobs.
What's up, Scope? How are you, baby?
What's up, baby? Shit.
Scope's here. Best work on a Friday. Show and go. How are you, Scopey? Thanks for jumping in again.
Yeah, good, mate. Always coming off the pine on a Friday, the Scope. So might as well just make this my weekly spot, eh?
I know, straight out of the ocean, straight onto the show and go.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, been putting in a little bit of work in the ocean of late. You know, the Scope just doesn't rest on his moral. He likes, you know, dabbing his feet in a bit of everything. So it's a new challenge for the Scope, and no doubt I'll conquer that in the next couple of weeks and then move on to the next.
The Sharks stay way clear of the Scope, don't they?
That's why you had to go to Wakey, mate. The Sharks didn't want to sniff of him.
Oh, fuck, it's so scary out there, man. It's sort of been cool. Like, I'm half joking about it, but I've been getting into it the last couple of weeks with one of the boys that was on ISIS podcast, Nick Youngquest.
Oh, yeah.
And he's been trying to get me to do this coast swim out to this island. And I said, fucking no chance. Like, I've always liked the idea of getting into surfing, but just getting out in the water and being out there where the fucking sharks can get you, it's been a bit of a fear of mine. So to get out there and been doing a bit of swim with him in Malay, it's been cool. It's been sort of like conquering a fear for me.
Soon we'll see I reckon the Scope will be a shoo-in for the Sydney to Hobart if you keep getting your Ks up.
Yeah, probably. Like I said, I just keep chipping away and knocking things off of late. So why not? Just another challenge.
You look like a nice juicy seal when you're out there as well with that sun-kissed skin of yours. You got to be careful, mate.
Yeah.
There's a mouthful and a half.
Mate, the rig is very seal-like. So, like I said, my dog's body compared to Youngie's in particular, if you're looking for a little bit of extra chunk, the Sharks will be coming right for my bad boy, right around the midriff.
Ooh, straight in. What about, Scope, you got to fill us in. What's all this last draft business? You're throwing the towel in early. There was a story about Luca you said on the little post yesterday. Fill us in, Scope. We want to know. People want to know. The degenerates want to know.
Mate.
You got two of you degenerates right here, so fill us in, mate.
Yeah. All right. So this is basically, Scope's been, he's been down on his luck of late with regards to Scope specials and a few other things that haven't gone my way. But this is the ultimate Scope special. So for the people that know me, ISIS got me, Normie, into breaking cards. What that is you pay for a spot, essentially. A guy sits in a cam. He's got a video cam set up. You pay, for instance, this break was $70 per person. So I've been watching him. I've been getting in a fair few breaks while Normie's been at training. Anyway, so I booked myself into a break, 2 spots, $70 per spot.
The blunt one?
$40. Pardon?
Was it the blunt one? Yeah.
Yeah, in the blunt collections one. Normie just happens to call me. We're talking about moving out of the kennel. We're going to a new place. He goes, oh, yeah, we have a little bit of general chit-chat. He's at training, mind you. And he goes, oh, what are you doing? I said, oh, no, just jumped in on a couple of blunt breaks. He's rats. You know what he's like.
Yeah.
And I said, oh, just so he wasn't bored. I said, well, do you want a spot? And he goes, yeah, why not? Yeah, he gives a spot. So he took a spot. That spot ended up being the Dallas Mavericks.
Not bad.
Not bad. He pulled 2 Luca cards and Giannis's younger brother, Kostas. One of the Luca cards is worth about $2,000 to $2.5 grand.
Yeah.
Like, I spoke to one of the boys.
Because
he's been doing it for a while, and he hasn't come close to hitting anything like that. and this is what I said to me and Normie didn't speak that night. I swear to God, like, I'm not even exaggerating. Normie felt he was like, I just had me head down the whole time, and I was just fucking. And he was laughing at first, and then he realised how devastated I was. So he sort of started to back off, and he goes, "Oh, all right, Scope, I'm going to go to bed." And he went to bed. I didn't even say goodnight or nothing.
You didn't tuck him in,
mate. I didn't fucking speak to him. I was that filthy. I've been chasing Luca in particular. Like, Luca was a player that I sort of felt like I jumped on a couple of years ago. Like, obviously before we're doing these podcasts, I was a big Luca fan, and then even at the start of the year, I think it was maybe on ISIS podcast, I declared Luca MVP.
Yeah, I was going to say, you called that fucking early as well.
He was 50-1 at the start of the year. 50-1. He ended up coming into second favourite just behind Giannis at like $253 at one point just before he did his ankle. He rolled his ankle up, and so yeah, I've always been a big fan of. And Luca, that was the thing that killed me the most. The next day in the morning, I wake up to Normie. I said, Normie, I said, bruh, I said, congrats, man. I said, if it was anyone else, like, I wish you'd pulled a Michael Jordan card.
Yeah.
Because it was like this thing that I'd built up over a couple of years, and it was like the one guy I was chasing. And the fact that I had him, he was my spot.
That's what I was going to say, because Normie can't just go, I'll jump in. So you would have had to give him one of those 2 spots.
Yeah.
Because they sell out in like a minute.
Yeah. So Normie was at training, and I just thought, just so Normie had something to do with me, like, it sort of would have been antisocial for me sitting at home, like watching, because I know Normie's sort of been getting into it.
Yeah.
And then I'm just like, I would have been sitting there watching cards for myself, and
since footy's come back, you're not getting as much attention from the old boys, so you probably just wanted to, do something together, didn't you?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I sort of just half knew he'd be keen, and I don't know. It's fucking a couple of sleepless nights, boys.
Well, I'll tell you what. The question I wanted to know: what hurt more? Because your retirement from rugby league shocked the world. We all know that.
Yeah.
But in terms of emotions, I don't know if I've seen the scope as emotional as announcing his retirement from the card break gang. If you had to compare the two, mate, give us your take.
Yeah, it's I think I was ready for the rugby league career. It'd been building for a while, but this was like
about 10 years.
The way I compare this is it's like doing the ACL, like, and it's like doing a tour type injury. Like, I've dislocated my knee, and I'm probably just starting to reach my peak, and then all of a sudden it's taken away from me. So I haven't been able to fulfill my career, and that's a disappointing thing. That's where I've let myself down. But I think that's where the raw emotion comes from. And yeah, this one's going to hurt a little bit more than the rugby league career, but like if we're relating it to MJ, I don't know, is it a 93 retirement, or is it a little bit? I don't know. We'll see.
He's not going to say never, is he? I mean, could he be back? You don't know. Could the itch come back? You don't know. But
if
I don't know, mate.
On the spinning wheel, what if you pull the Dallas Mavericks? Could you get a Luca rookie in the cards that you're breaking? Do you know the boxes?
Yeah. We can do, definitely. There's a couple of boxes there. Yeah, I don't know.
Looking out for you. You've done better work than ice in the breaks. We just have to put that out there. You're not picking the Chicago Bulls, or unless there's a 2019 box in. Kobe White's all right.
Yeah, no, I won't be picking Chicago Bulls. Ice was going for the MJs and that in those boxes. Yeah, I don't know. We've got to see how the wheel falls first. Judging on past breaks, I'm not getting too carried away. and just me luck of late. So I'm just, like I said to the boys, it's not about me. I just want to enjoy the week for what it is. If they just got to play their natural games and get on with it, and then after it, we'll be able to have a beer together and reminisce on the good times. But at the moment, I just want to get this break done with and look back with fond memories.
Considering a career in baseball, or what are we thinking, Scott?
Oh, mate. Potentially, I don't know, is transitioning to the NFL cards. I don't know. I haven't thought about that yet.
I thought that's where you would have just jumped in straight up, Scope. You got a bit in, your stuff there. Yeah, look, I do my best work in the NFL. Everyone knows that. So, whether I go to maybe a CEO role like MJ from my playing days, where I start breaking cards myself, those are all options. We'll look into that. I've got a little bit of fat lying around from some property that did well. So who knows, maybe investing in a few boxes. Yeah, a little bit of, little Bunsen burner on the side would be nice. Yeah. We'll say Scope specials, get the boxes breaking. Well, we'll move to the footy news now. The NRL have gone to one ref. Jackson, you've seen a fair bit of this from your role at Stuff. What are your thoughts, man? How do you think it's going to impact the game? You did a write-up on it as well, briefly too.
Yeah, so obviously we've got two major rule changes. First one is the one referee, and the second one's the ruck change. So we'll start with the positive. Look, the ruck change is all time. I think it's, I wrote about it being able to negate the wrestle. I probably jumped the gun there. Like, you're never going to get the wrestle out of the game. The wrestle's there now. But the idea that a side can no longer just wrestle, Scope, you'll be able to speak to this. When your team's getting fucking rolled through the middle on the back foot, teams do deliberate infringe, right? You buy a penalty, you get back, you settle yourself, So teams do deliberately infringe all the time. But now when it's just going to be 6 again, 6 again, 6 again, it's going to take that away. And the biggest thing it's going to be is for quick hookers in particular. Damien Cook, you think he was running them up beforehand. If he starts to get rolls on through the middle at will, he's going to run an absolute muck. The trade-off to that is going to be teams are going to have to, the bunnies don't often carry an extra hooker on the bench because Cookie just goes all day. But if he's doing even more running now, you're probably going to have to look at whether Cam Murray can go there or whatever. The Dragons, I think, will run both. Is it McInnes? McInnes is the Dragons 9, yeah?
McInnes, yeah. He should be back too by the time it gets going.
Yeah, and I think Bully will be on the bench because you're going to need 2 hookers now because I anticipate they're going to be doing a lot more running. So the ruck rule's unreal. I'm all about that. The one referee thing fucked me off mainly because, look, I am a fan of the 2 referees. I think 2 ref works. Just lay that out there. So I'm a bit biased in that sense. But to me, when they came out and said they were doing it for cost-saving reasons, that's when I jumped off straight away. Very strange. Like, you can do that for cost-saving reasons, but you don't have to announce it because straight away it looks like you don't have the best interest of the game in mind. So you're thinking dollars and cents, not product, and the product is where your dollars and cents come from. So you implemented 2 referees. I heard Fozzie talking about this today, and obviously he gave a very, calm sort of response to it, but he was sort of alluding to the fact you brought 2 referees in to improve the game, and you're going back to 1 referee not to improve the game. You're doing it because you need to save coin. So, look, I think echoing Fozzie's words here, if 1 referee can do it, sweet, have 1 referee. But the reason you brought 2 in is because there's so much to look for, particularly in the ruck. So the rules, and I'm rambling here a bit, but the rules are supposed to help each other. So, not blowing penalties at the ruck means you're going to get quicker ruck speed, so there's not going to be as much to look at. If there's not much to look at, you don't need the second referee. I'm assuming that's the thinking. But personally, anytime they want to change the rules of the game and it's not with the best interest of the game in mind, I jump off straight away. So it'd be interesting to hear what you think, Scope, particularly with the ruck rule. As a big mobile forward like you were, what that's going to mean for, if you were playing and little hookers were out there scampering through the middle and running amok, mate.
What do you think, Scope?
Yeah, mate. My late footwork was very underrated around the ruck and getting those quick play the balls. I had the dirtiest elbows and knees in my team every time I played. No, but seriously, I played over in the Super League just recently, as you know, and we had 1 referee over there, and it's awful, mate. Like, you need the. I'm a big believer in this. There's always going to be pros and cons to both, but I believe there's more benefits in having the 2 referees. There's so much shit that players get away with around the ruck that you probably won't even notice, but you'll notice now once it's only 1 referee. And essentially the second referee was brought in to speed the game up, if you remember, because there's so much wrestle on that happening. The ref's trying to concentrate on the line, what's happening. Like, there's so many things going on. He's listening to his touchies. That second referee is basically in there. You can hear them talking in the through the TV. They're like, "Come on, fucking move, get out of there." That's why the second referee was brought in. So there's no wrestle, there's no fucking holding of arms and all those sorts of things. So I think, and the second point with regards to the ref is, the boys practice all preseason with 2 referees in mind. It's going to take a bit of an adjustment. They practice
the first two rounds of the competition with 2 referees.
Exactly. So I heard BA speak about that the other day. That's a thing that's going to sort of take a little bit of adjustment because it's whoever adapts to it quicker. And like you said, we always try to cheat as much as we can as footy players. There are rules in place where, especially around the inside the 10 or 20, like that's a universal rule in the rugby league. You give away the penalty before you leak points, and even to the point, like you play the time of the game or time of the half as well. There'll be a plenty of cheating early on to just get a gauge on how it's being refereed, and it's going to change from referee to referee too. So it's going to put them under a heap of pressure. It's a tough enough job as it is being a referee, but you'll see a bit of carry on in the first couple of weeks, that's for sure.
What do you make of the ruck rule? Like, I think we're both on the same page with the referee. You brought in 2 referees.
Rule? You were talking about the ruck rule.
Yeah, so the new ruck rule is that if a team infringes at the ruck, so lying in the ruck, instead of blowing a penalty, it's just 6 again. So you don't stop play. So I'd be interested to hear what you think. Well, my thinking with that is...
I didn't know about that one.
Yeah, so my thinking with that is going to be teams where... I use the Bunnies as an example because they got Damien Cook, but when the Bunnies start to get a roll on, you notice a lot of teams, in Melbourne as well, with the big boys, when they start to roll on, teams infringe, you get a penalty, you reset, you get your line back, and you go again. Like you said then, they do it on their own goal line. Teams do it on halfway these days if they can sense you know, as a player, you get a sense of where the team, fuck, here they come. Yeah.
Yep.
So now that they can't give a penalty away, and instead you're just getting a fresh set of 6, and that, you know, it just keeps going bang, bang, bang. I'm expecting, you know, your McInnes's of the world, Nate Roach when he gets back, all those sort of nippy hookers, Cookie obviously, Hectic Cheese, like when these teams get a roll on and you infringe in the ruck to try to slow them down and give up 6 again, it's going to be like this. You know, you're going to get that non-stop wave. So even on the goal line, mate, so teams aren't going to be able to give penalties away on the goal line now. It's just going to be 6 again, 6 again, 6 again. What are your thoughts on that? Because I think
I didn't even hear that before you said that, before we started speaking about it. But yeah, you're right. I think it's going to be very tricky. I wonder if teams are more inclined to give it away now because there's not an actual like a break in play where you stop, they kick out the touch. Or
that's why I said I think it's not going to stop the wrestle, but it's going to negate it a little bit because you're not going to want to just, you know, if you get to tackle 4 and you're fucking blowing and they're rolling through you, typically you just go sweet lion and throw an elbow, give a penalty away, go again. But if you've got the threat of 6 again coming, fuck, man.
Yeah. No, that'll be interesting. Like I said, I've only just heard that one. I should have done my homework before I come on the show and go, but it was
you're too busy. Your hair's still wet, mate.
Yeah, I was only brought up. You can see, mate. It's still fucking Still
salt does well for scope.
Yeah,
saltwater scope.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. That'll be. I think that might half help the rule. To be fair, with the referee.
I think so. I think the thinking is that they complement one. So if there's less to look at the ruck because you're just rolling on, you don't need as many referees. But I mean, for the sake of, you know, I know referees make good money, but you know, you're not saving a shitload of coin on having one
that's
referee.
Just
and
weird,
I think
man.
It's very strange. So look, the biggest thing I think you're going to notice is teams are going to have to rethink their bench. So teams that typically roll with 2 hookers will be fine, but teams who roll with the one number 9 and play big off the bench, I don't think you're going to be able to anymore because the hookers are going to be doing that much fucking running. And you might even get, you know, wingers, you know, I know, you know, Justin Hodges was the best exponent of a centre who came in mid-set and you knew he was going to go, but he went anyway. If there's 6 again, you're going to get centres, wingers. You might even see the old mousetrap scope. There's a throwback for you. I think you're going to see a lot more dummy half running. So, yeah, that's my thoughts on the rule anyway, Lukey.
Yeah, interesting. Well, I reckon that's where we wrap it up for today, boys. Just a quick one for the Friday. Edit it up, get it up. It's already 11 o'clock. Normally it's already live. So enjoy your weekend. Scope, you're having a few Drink West. We'll give them a shout out. The boys came on the Ice Project a few months ago. Their beer's out. So you'll be sampling a few of those over the weekend.
Yeah, hopefully. I think one of my mates in particular, where I'm heading back out west to Penrith to have a few drinks with him tonight. So hopefully, I think he said he had a case sent there. Might treat ourselves to a couple of cigars. Like MJ as well. You know, it is the last break for the scope. So
really big lead up. So you're breaking, it's next Saturday, isn't it?
I think it's this Saturday. I think
it's tomorrow.
I think we're doing the draft. I think we're doing the draft tonight, and I'm about to go in the office and go see Ice and that. Anyway,
yeah, okay.
So we'll find out for sure.
We'll see what we can do. All righty, boys. Thanks for jumping on. Enjoy your Fridays. Enjoy your weekends.
Cheers, lads.
Cheers.
See you, boys.